Good morning, students. Today I'm going to explain you summary of the 100 traces 1 of this chapter. Okay, this chapter is written by E.L. Bsor. It's Eleanor Easter. Eleanor Easter. Okay. First, for a few 2 minutes, I'll explain you the introduction of the author. She was born on May 9, 1906 in West Haven, Connecticut. She was an American children's author, a children's librarian, originally a librarian. Easter's writing career began following a case of tuberculosis. Okay, she wrote about mostly about children. She was famous with the name of children's author, and she was also a children's librarian. She was a librarian where children used to come. That's why she has got so much of attachment with the children, and she has started writing down the books which were basically based on the psychology of children. Originally a librarian, Easter's writing career began. Uh, Basically, her writing career began when she suffered with the tuberculosis. Okay, during that period, she began writing some of her childhood memories, which later turned into full-length children's book. She wrote about her childhood memories, which later became a book on children. Okay, she received many certificates of award for outstanding contribution to children's literature, and she was also nominated for the Laura Ingalls Wilder Award. By the time of her death at the age of 82, she had written 19 children books. Okay, now, what is the theme of this chapter? The message of acceptance and not of teasing someone for being different is a theme introduced in the chapter. Means this chapter is based on this theme that whatsoever happens in your life, you should accept that without teasing someone or without making others responsible for anything wrong that is happening with you. Whatsoever is happening with you, you should think that as your uh, destiny, and you should not curse anyone for that thing which is happening with you. The chapter also addresses the importance of respect for others by presenting the lesson learned by the characters in the story. This chapter is also talking about the importance of respect for others. We should always respect others, and we should respect others in such a way that we present a lesson for others, that how uh, obedient we are. Okay, first by the characters a lack of respect for others, then later they begin to demonstrate respect for others when they realize that although Wanda is a poor and a polish, she is really no different from them. First, by the characters lack of respect for others. First, what happens, characters in this chapter, they do not show any respect to others, but later they began to realize, demonstrate respect for others when they realize that first in this chapter, the children, they do not respect people, but after some times they start realizing, they start feeling this thing, that the person whom they were not showing respect was also a person which was equally important or equally good, just like them. It was no different from them. The issue of racism and classism are confronted in this chapter. Issues of racism, classism. Racism means color discrimination, classism means upper class of society, lower class of society. Such type of issues, they are brought up in this particular chapter. Wanda's negative experiences in school, and because we learn that Wanda's whole family moves to the big city to avoid being ostracized, we can understand that the issues are much larger than just bullies at school. Now, what happens? Wanda, she was being bullied in the school. Her classmates used to bully her. But when she came out of school and when she was being discriminated at different other levels. Then she realized that bullying at the school was much better than facing discrimination at other levels. Okay, now let us start with the summary of the chapter. The story, The Hundred Dress, is about a Polish girl. Polish is the name of a type of a society of people who have immigrated to America. Okay, they have come from different places, and they have come and settled down in America. Since they are not born and brought up in America, that's why they are being called as Polish people. Her name was Wanda Petronsky. Her family had immigrated to America. She, along with her family, they have immigrated to America. She studied in a school with other American students, and she studied in the school where other American students were also studying. She belonged to a very poor family. She was belonging to a very poor family. Daily she came to school in a faded blue dress. It was clean but not properly ironed. She was too poor. Her parents could not afford to buy 2 3 school uniforms for her, so she daily used to go home, wash it, and keep it for drying, and the very next day she used to wear the same dress. So by continuous washing of the uniform again and again, the color of the uniform faded. Okay, so it's written, it was faded blue dress. It was clean but not properly. The dress was clean but it was not ironed properly. She used to sit in the corner of a room number 13 in the last row. There was a room number 13 and she used to sit in the last row in that room. This was a corner where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat. And where did she sit? She sat along with the children who were notorious, and they were asked to sit in that corner, and they were being called rough because they were notorious and they did not score good marks in the exams. They were notorious, they did not score good marks in the exams, so they were being asked to sit in that corner. And Vanda was also being asked to sit in that corner. They made a lot of noise. There was the most noise of the feet when some fun occurred. Those notorious boys, they sat in a corner, and whenever any mischievous thing happened, most noise came from that corner of the class. And sometimes they used to make so much of noise with their feet when some fun occurred. Okay, when some fun occurred, they used to make so much of noise with their feet. Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. On the contrary, she was very quiet. कह रहे हैं, Wanda was not rough like those boys. She was contrary, just she was not noisy also like those boys. She did not disturb the class. She was not notorious. Just opposite to all that, she was the most quiet girl of the class. But she came on foot from Boggings Height area and brought a lot of dirt with her shoes. But she came from the area which was called as Boggings Height, and that area was the most muddy area. And children coming from that particular area, they bought some mud along with their shoes, so they were being asked to sit in the separate corner of the class so that they do not spoil the whole class with the mud of their shoes. Okay, now children, this is a silly excuse which is being presented in the chapter, but in real it's not this. It's a racial discrimination, you can say. Front benches, only the children who were born and brought up in America and they belong to that American society, they used to sit, and those migrated children who have come from different other places, they were kept separated from those who were proper Americans, just to keep a wall between them. From at every place, a line was being drawn between them. So the proper American children, they used to sit in the first rows, and the back benches were the children who were not proper American. They have immigrated from some other places to America. Okay, but when the two children, this excuse was being told that you come from the places where it's too muddy, so your shoes carry a lot of mud, and if you will move in the whole class, you you are going to spoil the whole class, so it's better you sit at the back only, so that you spoil only one corner of the class. This was an excuse, but in real this was not the cause. She was an introvert and did not speak much in the class, and no one had ever heard her laugh. Nobody really thought much about Wanda. Students thought of Wanda only outside of the class hours. They waited for her while she was going or coming from home. She was very introvert girl. Introvert means only involved in herself. She never laughed in the class. She laughed rarely, and students did not tease her inside the school premises. They used to tease her outside the school premises, and students used to wait on the school gate before coming to school, so that they can tease her when she comes. And after the school gets over, they used to stand on the school gate and tease her, okay, and tease her. So students waited for her outside the school gates while coming and going, just for sake of teasing her. They waited they waited for her in order to have fun with her. Two girls of her class, Peggy and Maddie, often talked to her and made fun of her. These two girls, they usually used to talk to her, and they only made fun of her. Peggy was the most popular girl in the class. She was pretty and had curly hair. She belonged to a rich family. She had many pretty clothes. Peggy was a rich girl, and she had many beautiful dresses. And Maddie was her best friend. And these two girls often talked to her. Peggy and Maddie were not bad girls, but they used to have some fun with Wanda Pentronsky. The students in Wanda's class found her name funny. Peggy and Maddie, they were not bad girls. They enjoyed having some fun with Wanda Pentronsky. And the students in the Wanda's class, why did they make fun of her? Because they found Wanda's name bit funny. Wanda was always alone in her class. She did not have any friend, but a lot of girls talked to her. She talked to most of the girls, but she did not make best friend with any of those girls. They surrounded in her in the school yard. Peggy made fun of Wanda and asked her how many dresses she had in her closet. Wanda replied that she had 100 dresses. These girls, they used to surround her in the schoolyard, and they used to make fun of her. Peggy used to make fun of this girl by asking her, how many dresses do you have in your wardrobe? And then Wanda used to give a reply that I have 100 dresses in my wardrobe. I have 100 dresses in my wardrobe. And these dresses were of different colors and designs. She also said this. Then Peggy would ask her whether the dresses were of silk or velvet. Then Peggy asked her that your dresses were made up of silk or velvet. Wanda would reply that she had dresses of velvet as well as silk. And Wanda would say that I have dresses of velvet as well as silk. The girls would ask her how many pairs of shoes she had. The girls, Peggy and Maddie, asked her how many pairs of shoes did she have. At this, Wanda would tell them that she had 60 pairs of shoes. The girls would suppress their laugh when talking to her. Suppress their laugh means girls used to put fingers on their mouth and laugh, control their laugh when Wanda said that she had 100 dresses and she had 60 pairs of shoes. But as soon as Wanda's back was turned, they would burst into pearls of laughter. But as soon as Wanda turned, these girls, they would laugh loudly on her and make fun of her. Peggy was rich, but she was arrogant. She was not arrogant. Arrogant means not too adamant about anything. She was not cruel. Peggy was rich, but she was not arrogant. She was not cruel also. On the other hand, she saved younger girls from bullies. Bullying means catching hold of any negative point of some person and then teasing that person continuously is called as bullying. Okay. Only on the other hand, Peggy always saved the young girls from being bullied by others. But she and other girls could not understand why Wanda told a lie about her dresses and shoes. But the girls only made fun of Wanda. They never made her cry. These girls, they only made fun of Wanda. They never tortured her to such an extent that it make her cry. They never made her cry. Maddie herself was a poor girl. Maddie, who was a friend of Peggy, was also a poor girl. She used to wear the clothes given by others. So she was sympathetic to Wanda. She and Peggy were fast friends. That is why she never said anything when Peggy made fun of Wanda. Peggy and Maddie, they both were best friends. So, whenever Peggy made fun of Wanda, Maddie never stopped her from that. But she herself never laughed at Wanda. She did not like Peggy asking Wanda about dresses. Whenever Peggy mocked Wanda, made fun of Wanda, Maddie felt very bad from her heart. She wished that Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Pentronsky. Maddie decided to write a note to Peggy asking her to stop making fun of Wanda, but she could not muster the courage to do so. One day, Maddie thought that verbally I cannot explain Peggy that please do not make fun of Wanda. So she thought of writing down a letter and give it to her that please do not, but she did not have that much courage to write it down and hand it over to her. Wanda did not come to school on Monday, but nobody missed her. She did not come on Tuesday also. But when she missed the school on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie noted her absence. They wondered why she had not come to school. Maddie remembered Wanda talking about one of her dresses, which was pale blue with colored trimmings. And then Maddie thought about the drawing and the color contest in the school. Now, what happened? Maddie remembered that maybe Wanda's dress was not in proper position. Her dress was fading day by day, and maybe her dress was not in a position that she could wear it and come to school. That's why she might not have come. And then the topic changes. Then Maddie thought about the drawing and the color contest in the school. She thought of a drawing and color contest which was to be held in the school. The girls, what was the theme of the contest? The girls were to design the dresses and the boys were to design motorboats. Boys were supposed to draw motorboats and girls were supposed to design dresses. Maddie thought that Peggy would win the contest as she was very good at design. Maddie thought that if Peggy took part, she was very good in drawing and she is definitely going to win the contest. Next day it was drizzling. Drizzling means raining slowly. Okay, you can say showers. Not heavy rainfall, showers of rainfall is called as drizzling. Peggy and Maddie hurried to school as Miss Mason would announce the results of the drawing contest. They ran to school because the results of drawing contest were being declared. They did not wait for Wanda. When the girl reached their school, they were surprised. There were hundreds of designs of dresses displayed in the room. This Miss Mason announced the name of the winner. Jack Beggles had won for the boys. She said that all the 100 designs of dresses had been made by one girl and she had won the medal, and her name is Wanda Pentronsky. Now what happens? In that competition, there were 100 sketches of beautiful dresses which were being made and they were being displayed in the whole school premises. And Peggy and Maddie, they were shocked to see that how many sketches of beautiful dresses were lying over there. There were near about 100 sketches, and the winner of those poster was, the name of the winner was Wanda Pentronsky. She had made those sketches, and these were the 100 dresses which she was possessing. But Wanda was absent from school that day. The children clapped their hands in joy. Maddie asked Peggy to look at the blue dress about which Wanda had told them earlier. One day Wanda told them, I have a beautiful dress which is of blue color, and that was the most beautiful sketch that blue color dress sketch which she had prepared. They appreciated the drawings made by the Wanda and they really loved those dresses.